Hi guys, thanks so much for joining this week's webinar. We will be doing how to use GovSpend and GovQuote together. We're going to quickly do about 3 different requests We're going to be doing about 3 different requests and how to do 3 different searches on GovSpend using it. We're going to be focusing on, how to find vendors in your local area. How to kind of look up pricing and see kind of where your product is at or what vendors sell underneath the threshold of what you're looking for. And then last but not least, how to see a vendor profile. So if you've never really heard of that vendor before, you can kind of see their profile, their stats, when did they sell to the government, how often and who, who's their most best buyer, I guess is the way to say it. All right, well, last week we had one with all of our vendors, kind of showing them how to respond to your requests that you have out there, how to better submit their quotes in. Again, if you have not already, we are on social media. We are on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and our handle is GovQuote. Just one word, GovQuote. All right, and without further ado, I guess we're just going to get started. So, like I said, we're going to be using GovSpend and GovQuote together. So, I'm just going to kind of start with one request I have here. Just to kind of start up with, it's for water meters. So you can see I went ahead, published the request already. I did select a category. I put in a description that we're looking for some self-reading water meters, a model number, quantity. Maybe you want to see what department. Maybe you want to see what department you're with. If you want shipping included, price to beat. Maybe you have a grant of only $300,000 or you have, a budget of $50,000. You can always put that price to beat in there if you'd like. You don't have to, up to you. And then I know a lot of times you want to stay local. So how we can make this in a more local setting. First of all, any vendor that is on GovQuote selects their state and region that they can service and sell to. So this will go out to local vendors. You might just not know about them yet. But also, I just have a couple tabs up here just so we can kind of go back and forth a little quicker. So what you can do is, I already have a search already created. We just typed in water meter as well as self-reading water meter with 0 words in between. And then we took out a couple words as well. So we took out deposits, repair, cover, lids, shipping, anything else that you think that you might not want to get in this search, we can always take out as well. That way we get more of just the water meter itself or a self-reading water meter. Either one will still pull. And then you can start to see what the pricing is over here and when the date was and who the agency is. How to make it local. So what we did is we selected the state. I just used Louisiana as an example. And then if you scroll down, you're looking for company selling area within 20 miles of your address if you want to put. You can also do zip code, but if not, you can just put in your address and then put 20 miles, 30 miles, 50 miles, 10 miles, however you'd like to do it. And then that way, these vendors are all within 20 miles of that agency address. That way, you know that these vendors are in your area, sell to your area, and who else they have sold to. So you can always go back and say, hey, City of Baker, I saw that you worked with Smith's Meter Repair. How did you like them? Did they do good work for you? That way you can see that vendor. You can get ask how they did. And then what you can do is you can get their contact information, go back to your request, and share that request with them and say, hey, I know you've worked with this other city before. We're looking to buy some water meters. We know you're local. Can you please supply a quote for us? Here's the link. And that way they can also supply a quote to you. So that way you're getting those local vendors in there. And then it's all going to be in that audit record. That is so great to have at the very end. So that if anything happens, you can always go back and say, hey, I reached out to XYZ, got back these responses, and went with this vendor. So just so you can have that is a great way to find your local vendors. We do have a chat box. Just want to make sure everyone knows during this webinar that you can chat us with, and we can answer questions at any time throughout it. But that's just one search that I just wanted to give an example about. Just went back to my requests, back to that published tab is where anything that you have currently out is, or that has not been awarded or canceled, will appear. So next I'm going to click on this workman's truck. Just categories, I put industrial trucks, specialized recreational vehicles, looking to replace the current truck you have maybe. And you can put in that model number. You're looking for a Chevy model XYZ. If you're looking for tinted windows, you would obviously list everything that you're looking for within that vehicle. And then again, I just have a saved search already, so I'm just going to click on it. This is more of just kind of a broad one, just so you can maybe see the price range of those vehicles, how, maybe a year, see if this is a 2019, it's going for about $30,000. And inside you can see kind of what they're looking for. This is obviously, you can see it says long bed. So that way you can see who else is buying these trucks, maybe an average price of them and everything like that. Which is also really great. And then how you can kind of maximize your search. You can put item total price. So let's say you only want to find vehicles that go up to $50,000. Maybe that is your price range and you want to, max out at 50. You want anything that's below 50. So what you can do is you can say 50,000 here. And anything that is above $50,000 will get excluded. So that way, all these searches are any trucks that have been purchased below that $50,000 mark. So as you can see, it's just loading real quick. And then again, these numbers will all switch. And again, you can also see when it was purchased and when this purchase order was filled out and sent over. So we have that. You can see what county. This is just a nationwide search. You are always welcome to, company selling area like we did earlier. That's how you can find those local vendors and do that radius of what you're looking for. If you want to do an agencies in your local area that have also bought this, you can do that agency radius as well. And just so we can look in here, we did truck as the search. We did a Chevrolet as the contains because that's the kind of truck we are looking for. And then here where it says did not contain, we don't want any maintenance. We just want the actual truck itself. So that is in a nutshell how you can kind of see maybe what the average prices for that vehicle is, maybe 2019 versus 2018. And you can kind of see all that just by searching it. So that would be the second one. And then again, just go back to my requests. Last but not least, I just have one for printer, just super basic. You can see all the information you would obviously put out there. And let's say you get a response back. $10,000, my price is below, thanks for the opportunity. So let's say you've never heard of this vendor before. You can actually search them in GovSpend. I just searched B&H Photo. They're a pretty well-known company. You can also search CDWG. You can search Ford. You can search pretty much brand names. We do get these from the agency. So we are agency-based, not vendor-based. So we're getting these vendor names from the agencies. That's why there's some variants of how they wrote them out. But just this is it, B&H Photo. If you click on it, you'll click View Company Profile. Give it a second to load. Perfect. So as you can see here, if you wanted to, you can see the company's locations that we have, see the company contacts if you wanted to reach out. These are the top government customers by dollar amount. You can see kind of they've sold the most to Nebraska Administrative Service, University of Michigan, State University of New York, so forth and so on. You can kind of see who they've sold to the most. And then you can also see their trends. You can see, you know, that they've been selling to the government for quite some time. They've really sold a lot. And obviously, if it starts to trail down as time goes on, this one's pretty steady. Obviously, 2018, we do not have all the information. We aren't done with the year yet. But for the most part, you can see it's pretty upward trend. That means agencies are buying from them. And you want to see that. You want to see the agencies are still working with them and everything like that. And again, you can use these as references. You can say, all right, I know they're working with this, this, and this. Great, that's perfect for me. And then down here, you can kind of see we've gotten some purchase orders recently, what they're looking for, and things like that. If you wanted to, you can even go back. And here in this contains field, if you were looking for just printers, that will show you only purchase orders that have printers in them that B&H has sold. So just you guys can use that as an example. But again, you just type in the company name, you click on the company, click view company profile, and that's how we found all that information. So if you go back to GovQuote and you're like, hey, I've never heard of them before, that's how you can kind of, in a sense, soft vendor vet them and search them in our system to find them. And you just go to that Find Companies tab right here, and you'll be able to search for it. It is a pretty quick webinar this week. It was pretty just an overview, how to do it. And, you know, you always have your account managers that are always able to help you with those GovSpend searches. We're always here for you. We want you guys to succeed, save money, save your time, and really expand your agencies. We want to put the money back in your pocket. So use us as much as you can. We will help you with any information you need to look up. So we are here to help. That in a nutshell is pretty much that whole entire webinar. Again, just in back to my requests, they're all in the Publish tab. That's where you can find all of your current open requests, awarded, anything you've awarded on the platform, canceled, anything you've closed, lost, you know, wanted to go back to later in a possible way. Those are just everything that's kind of closed out. But that is pretty much the webinar for this week. So the chat is open. If anyone wants to chat and ask any questions, I'll keep it open for another minute or two. But other than that, please again, like and subscribe to all of our channels. We are on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Again, our handle is GovQuote. So we are here for you guys and looking forward to talking to you guys some more.